equation is of degree 3, it is called as cubic equation. And when the degree of that equation goes on increasing beyond 3, then or beyond 2, it is called as a polynomial. So this particular error detection method is based upon treating the bits or the strips of bits that you want to transfer from the sender to the receiver as coefficients, as polynomials with coefficient 0 and 1. So what is the main idea? We treat bits as coefficients of polynomials which are having degree more than 2, and these polynomials are having coefficients as either 0 or 1, because bits will have only 2 values or 2 states, either 0 or a 1. So suppose we have a particular bit string like this. We have suppose 1 1 0 0 0 1 1. Alright. So how many bits are there? 2 3 5 6 7. So this particular bit string we are now going to represent in the form of a polynomial which is having a degree more than 2. So how are we going to represent it? This is the first bit. So how do we take it? 1 into x to the power of 6 plus 1, the next one, into x to the power of 5 plus 0 into x to the power of 4 plus 0 into x to the power of 3 plus 0 into x to the power of 2 plus 1 into x to the power of 1 plus 1 into x to the power of 0. All of you can observe the same bit string is now represented as a polynomial with coefficients either 0 or 1. Okay. So now what we are going to do, the same thing will write in the form of a polynomial. X to the power of 6 plus x to the power of 5. This is 0, this is 0, this is 0. Then x plus x to the power of 1 plus 1. Alright. So when we are going to implement this method, we are going to treat our bit strings. These are the bit strings. Okay. In the form of polynomial. The bit strings are treated in the form of polynomials. So if we have say k bits, then we are going to represent it from x to the power of k minus 1 up to x to the power of 0. From k minus 1 to 0. Alright. So if we understand this, then we can understand the method which is based upon polynomial codes for error detection, which is called as cyclic redundancy technique. error in the table. Okay. So this method I will try to demonstrate with the help of one example. Okay. Now, when we are implementing cyclic redundancy check, which is based on polynomial codes, there are certain rules that we must follow. Okay. First I will tell you the rules, and after that I will try to demonstrate it with the help of one example. When we are implementing 0 minus 1 is 1, 0 minus 0 is 0, 0 minus 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. Bring down the next bit. Again see the last bit 1. So 1s are 1, 1, 0, 1. So this will be 1, 1, 1, 0. Leave this, bring down the next bit. Okay. Now since this is 1, 1s are 1, 1, 0. So 1, 1, 0, 0. So I hope you